Alright guys, what is up? Today we are back again and we are not really in the Roblox studio today. We are going to be discussing how you guys can study with the help of object browser as well as this documentation which is right in front of your screen. Actually, I've uploaded the video for object browser in previously. I'm not sure when, but yeah. So let's get back to the video. I will be telling you how you guys can study events, random events such as touch event and then mouse button one click or mouse button one up, otherwise action events, all those stuff like clicking, touching, and some functions like okay, you get it. So I've explained this in my object browser video. You guys can check that out and come back here. So here as you can see here, you just gotta click on get a new tab in your browser and then type in documentation Roblox, and then you will come to a place similar to this. Let's just reload real quick. Okay, so I think it will take you right here. Okay, so you can click on learn, go to engine. Okay, go to engine and then wait I made a mistake. Yeah, go to engine. Okay, and then click on reference. Okay, click on reference and you will have this tablet column on your left side of the screen. Click on classes, click on this arrow. Okay, this is the place where you get all the classes of the Roblox studio. As I've told in the previous videos, you cannot get classes from this. Okay, these are few classes, but then there are many more classes which are not defined in the explorer page. So if you want to access them, you can come up to this documentation website and start studying them, such as debris or decal or actor, add GUI, add portal, all these stuff. So you can come here and start learning about them. But if you don't really want to learn all these things, you can actually just Google up whatever your task is, like a short summary of it, like what should I use for this. So let's say I want to make a shooting gun. Okay, if I want to make a gun which shoots bullets, okay, I will make a list. I have this one part, I gotta make the gun model. Okay, I gotta get the bullet model, and then I gotta script it. Okay, when we come to the scripting part, we will start shooting, like the projectile motion of the bullet which comes up from the gun. We will be scripting that, and then we will be scripting as well as when the gun works, like when does the script work. So we want the script to work when the player clicks his left mouse button, and then otherwise if he clicks any key on a keyboard. So if you want to do that second task, which is activating the script at a certain action, you will be using the user input service. So if you cannot really find out where is like which service to use, because there are a lot of services here, and yeah, trust me, I've not even read a lot of this because many of these things I don't even need it. Okay, so when you really need it, you can actually head up to the Google and then ask them for a summary of like how your task should be. Okay, so maybe ask ChatGPT. Okay, don't ask for the code, because yeah, you got to be learning how to code, right? Because if you just ask it for the code, it's not going to make any sense, and if you want to make some small changes to it, you won't be able to really make it. Okay, so what I would say is go to ChatGPT, ask for a short summary of like what services should I use, what things should I have in my script, like how should the logic be. But yeah, always try to make your own logic, because that's when you try to master your scripting language. Okay, so you type out all these things, and then ChatGPT is gonna tell you, yeah, you should use user input service for taking the action of user to in order to fire the script or run the script. Okay, so then you use user input service, and then when you use user input service, you can come up to this documentation and then just search up here. Okay, you can click on this search box, click on that, search in user input service. Okay, let's just load real quick. My net is really bad. Okay, so after waiting a long time, it has finally loaded, and yeah, you can see here engine class. So it comes under engine, which is here. Okay, we have came here, and then the classes. Click on the arrow, and all these things you can find it. So it is a class called as user input service. Okay, so we click on that. Yeah, so if you click on that, it's going to take you to the selected word, which is user input service, and you can start reading about it right here. Okay, it allows the local script to perform different actions, which is basically it's trying to signify that you can only use it in a local script and not in the server script. Says here it will only work when used in a local script or a module script required by a local script. Okay, so it's really basic English. You don't have to mess up your head or anything. Just allows you to bind functions. Like if you don't really understand what they're trying to say, you can ignore it. Like and then come back to this code samples. The following example demonstrates one of the many uses. So this is how you started. Take declare a variable called a user input service and then start a function. You don't even need to start a function, but yeah, it's fine. Input game process. These are also arguments or parameters, like I'm sorry, arguments which you can put in the function in the service, and then some if statement and a print. And then when you run this, when you just don't copy this, okay, just try to write it down in your Roblox studio and then run it, okay, in your local script, and then try to understand what is going on, okay. So the script is going to start from here, okay, the second line. So it understands there's a variable called as user input service, and then we have put the data as game dot get service user input service. So we're getting the service called user input service from the game, okay, and then it jumps back to the 11th line. Actually, it jumps to the fifth line here. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm telling the flow of code wrong, but yeah, just bear with me. So it jumps to the fifth line, and then it understands that we have made a user-defined function. Okay, so it hasn't been called yet. Okay, like we haven't told it to run the function yet. So we will jump to the it will jump to the 11th line, and then it will see user input service, which is get service user input service dot begin. So this dot began input began, it is an event inside of user input service, okay, and then connect, and then on input began, which is this. So then the code understands that okay, I have to jump back to fifth line, start running whatever is inside this. Okay, if a user input type equals to enum dot user input type dot mouse button one. So mouse button one, I think it's the right mouse button or the left mouse button, I'm not sure. Okay, so if that is the user input, like whenever the user clicks on left or right mouse button, this thing gets run. Okay, in the code, this thing gets run, and it will print the left mouse button has been pressed. Okay, so this is the basic skill that you should acquire while trying to learn a programming language, which is to understand the code by yourself without the help of a second guy or ChatGPT or Chrome. So you should be able to understand what is going on. But if you really don't understand, then you can use ChatGPT or Chrome. But I highly recommend, please don't use ChatGPT, because you start becoming really lazy, and then you become really dependent on ChatGPT, and then slowly and eventually you will start losing interest into the programming language, and that's where you become back off from the programming language, and yeah, you get really demotivated and stuff like that. But yeah, this at your max, try avoiding such sources such as ChatGPT or Chrome, or yeah, avoid asking your friends as well. But if you have doubts, like okay, okay bro, tell me some inputs from the user input service, so you can ask these questions, but don't ask them like to explain a code for you, because that just sounds ridiculous. Okay, so you got to be understanding how to interpret or tell yourself what the meaning of the code is. Okay, so gain those skills. I mean, those are really important, to be honest, because these codes, even ChatGPT can make it, but the thing is that many won't understand what is a code teller. Okay, so if I really gave this to a new person who doesn't know Lua exists, he is not gonna really understand what is going on here. Okay, so he might be able to tell that we are taking the user input because it says user input service, but he won't be able to tell what is going on here. Okay, maybe from the print statement he can tell that okay, we are taking user input service from left mouse button, something like that. But what if the print statement was not there? He has no idea what is going on. Yeah, so don't be like him. Try to understand the code by yourself. And these are some summaries, properties, okay? Properties of the service. You can read these stuff. Methods, method functions, okay? These things, okay, you can start using them. And yeah, I highly recommend you that if you are learning something new, like let's say you're learning a new method, okay, is gamepad button down, okay, you can actually watch some videos which like are 1 minute long or 30 seconds long, depicting the usage of such methods, only the specific. So there's no extra talking, just showing you and then explaining it to you. So you can watch those stuff. It's really helpful. And yeah, input, these are the events. Input began, so this is where I've used it. The input began and all the stuff. You can use all these stuffs and then expand your knowledge, everything. Yeah, it even explains every single methods to you in this documentation. So this documentation is basically the entire programming language. So A to Z, whatever you want to make, it's in this, okay? So it's literally anything. Like if you want the sky to explode and then you want dinosaurs to come up from the sky and then a whole new universe starts and then like atomic bang, big bang, all the stuff, like everything for that, like whatever you want to make, you can find it here, okay? So with the help of all these things, you can make your imaginations. So don't hesitate to use this documentation. Trust me, it really helped me a lot, okay, throughout my journey. Till date, I'm using this. Yeah, trust me, I'm still using this because there are a lot of classes. And yeah, it's not like I am at some selected class, okay, let's say I'm starting from here and I know all the classes from above. It's not like that. So when I require a class, I start learning it, okay? So I don't know a lot of classes from here, but like let's say I know like around like 50% of that. But yeah, so read only if you need it, okay? If you don't need it, don't read it. Just don't mess up your head because you become confused and stuff like that, okay? So I'm gonna end the video right here because I think I've taken like around 7 minutes long or maybe 10 minutes. Anyways, yeah, guys, take care. Bye bye.